Minnesota, birthplace of Riley, the girl. There are 5 feelings that inhabit her mind. They cause her to act the way she does and create the memories she has. The recollections are stored in the form of little balls. Depending on the feeling associated with the recollection, they produce a unique hue. In order to function as islands of identity, our most vital memories must be of the utmost importance. Each one reflects an aspect of Riley's personality and upbringing. Riley is a joyful person. Her fear of danger keeps her protected. She is protected against both literal and figurative poison by her strong sense of disgust. For her, anger is the equalizer. Sadness, on the other hand, has no apparent function. That's why nobody pays any attention to her. Riley turns 11. Her parents moved to San Francisco. There is something mystical about sadness. Every happy, colorful recollection she touches becomes a sad, blue one that can never be restored to its original state. Until she figures out what's going on, joy prevents sadness from interacting with any more memories. On the first day of class at the new school, sadness is confined to a small area by Joy, who has her stand in a circle to prevent her gloomy mood from spreading. Riley tells about her life in Minnesota. Joy calls up a memory and has it played on a projector in Riley's head. Sadness wanders outside her circle and touches the memory, turning it sad. As the other feelings work to wipe the image off the screen, sadness takes over the controls and causes Riley to break down in tears in front of her peers. The creation of new central memory. This essential recollection is melancholy and gloomy. Up until now, Riley's only lasting recollections have been good ones. Happiness considers regretful recollections to be negative. It's bothering her, so she tries to get rid of it. Sadness tries to prevent her, arguing that the memory is essential. As they fight, they dislodge every vital memory from its container. Riley's fundamental memories, as well as his feelings of happiness and sadness, are sucked up the tube and stored far away. Long-term memory is a maze of halls and shelves where you can store happy and sad memories. They run upon Riley's old imaginary buddy Bing Bong, who is eager to catch up with her. He claims that they can ride the train of thought all the way back to the command center. They go across the realms of imagination and abstract reason. The Princess Dream World and the Stuffed Animal Hall of Fame sections of Preschool World will soon be dismantled. They are driving Bing Bong's song-powered rocket to the memory dump, a deep pit where old memories are buried. The rocket is plowed into the garbage heap. Since his rocket was destroyed, Bing Bong has been feeling a lot of grief. When Joy tries to cheer him up, he ignores her. Despair hears what Bing Bong has to say. With Riley by his side, he went on many exciting journeys. Together, they formed an inseparable friendship. In other words, it's tragic. Sadness is comforted by Bing Bong's embrace. Sometimes he breaks down and sheds sweet tears. He's doing fine right now. He still rides the emotional train to the station. Joy is perplexed as to how sadness managed to pull off such a feat. In Joy's absence, the other 3 emotions try to gain control of the headquarters building. Riley's happiness is beyond their reach. Things go wrong at dinner. Riley's impolite and unpleasant behavior results in her father sending her to her room. When Riley is still sad that night, her dad tries to make monkey sounds to cheer her up, but it has no effect. Riley has broken up with her best friend and has decided to stop playing hockey. The islands of goofball, friendship, and hockey all become part of the memory dump. Anger has a revelation: the best times of Riley's life were spent in Minnesota. She needs to go back and make more money there if she ever wants to be happy again. The thought train is carrying happiness, melancholy, and Bing Bong. Unfortunately, Riley won't be able to catch a ride on the train while he's sleeping. They get into dream productions. Joy wants to use excitement to rouse Riley from sleep. Joy wears a dog outfit and leads the pack. There's a rear room full of melancholy. Bing Bong releases a curtain of colorful balloons. Due to the dream's reality distortion filter, it appears that a genuine dog has been split in 2, even though the dog costume has only been ripped in half. Despite all this, Riley stays sleeping. Guards apprehend Bing Bong and transport him to Riley's darkest dread storage facility, the subconscious. On the belly of Jangles, a huge, sleeping birthday clown, lies a cage made entirely of balloons in which Bing Bong is trapped. Bing Bong breaks free thanks to his happiness. Upon leaving, Jangles is awoken by joy and sadness, and he pursues them into dream productions. The dream guardian is fear. Riley is startled awake by Jangles' appearance. All aboard. The train has resumed its normal schedule. As an example, Bing Bong chooses a recollection. Now is the time in the convoluted tree. Riley's family and hockey teammates are rooting for him. Even Sadness enjoys remembering this time. The day the Prairie Dogs were eliminated from the playoffs. The game-winning attempt was missed by Riley. She was in a terrible mood. For a while there, she was contemplating quitting. His plan to flee was carried out by his anger. To cover her trip costs, Riley is compelled to steal her mother's credit card. The foundation of Trough Island is breaking. The disintegrating island crashes through the track of thought. A head-on collision with long-term memory. Before the train can crash into the memory dump, mind workers rush to save Joy, Sadness, and Bing Bong. All three of them track down a recall tube. In an attempt to enter the tube, Sadness causes the central recollections to change color. According to Joy, Riley ought to be content. She stops Sadness and Bing Bong in their tracks by closing the tube and beginning to be sucked up. The recall tube cracks as the foundation of long-term memory collapses. The memory dump swallows up Joy and Bing Bong. Happiness reaches the heart of a painful recollection. She recalls Riley's dated recollections with fondness. The only thing that mattered to her was that Riley was content. She rewinds the sorrowful memory of the twisted tree and finds herself in the present. An echo of sorrowful words, the day the Prairie Dogs were eliminated from the playoffs. The game-winning attempt was missed by Riley. She was in a terrible mood. For a while there, she was contemplating quitting. Sadness called for Mom and Dad and the whole squad to come aid. The song-powered rocket is located by Joy and Bing Bong. They keep firing the rocket at the landfill in an attempt to get out, but it never quite makes it. On the third try, just as the rocket is about to leave the landfill, Bing Bong jumps out of it. As he fades away, Bing Bong expresses gratitude to Joy for allowing him to shine one final time. While back at HQ, the Feelings realize it was a mistake to flee. The final island in the chain, Family Island, is beginning to crumble. The control panel goes dormant and shuts down by itself. Riley stops listening to his feelings at all. They are unable to induce any emotions in Riley. They can't escape by taking the light bulb out of the wall, however. Joy frantically searches for Sadness, but Sadness has concluded that she has only harmed Riley with her actions. She's up in the clouds, seemingly floating. Using the hypothetical partner creator, Riley's made-up boyfriend declares that he would give his life for her. Now he needs to show that he deserves that reputation. If Joy wants more of her fake boyfriends, she just orders the machine to crank out more of them. She releases air from a balloon and blows in Sadness' direction, sending her cloud floating in the direction of the command center. In her head, Joy has a boyfriend hierarchy. She has reached the peak of the ladder. She allowed the ladder to topple. She bounces off a Family Island trampoline. In the air above the memory dump, she soars. She grabs Sadness. At headquarters, the two Feelings collided with the glass. As he vents his frustration, he hurls a chair through the glass. You won't have to replace the window because it stays intact. To the point of explosive rage, anger is prompted to action by his distaste. The anger that he represents. If he gets very worked up, flames will shoot out of his scalp. Disgust smashes the window with his fiery head so that Joy and Sadness might escape. Because Riley's idea bulb has been miraculously removed by Sadness, she has returned home. With the help of Happiness, Sadness is able to go deep into one's memory and cast a gloomy hue on every cherished memory. She acts as Sadness' projector, displaying Riley's gloomy recollections for Riley to enjoy. The controls are taken over by Melancholy. Riley weeps as she reveals that she misses Minnesota. She longs to reunite with her former hockey teammates and pals. Her family depends on her happiness, but she'd rather return home. They are not angry parents. They also miss the hiking trails, her old backyard, and Spring Lake, where she learned to skate back in Minnesota. They give Riley a bear hug and kiss on the cheek. Grief grabs hold of happiness and the two of them jointly push a button. The creation of new central memory. This fundamental recollection might make you both pleased and sad. Now that she has a job to do, sadness may contribute to society in a meaningful way, just like the other emotions. They've upgraded to a bigger console. All sorts of feelings are mingled in with the most fundamental memories. Both Riley and her house have seen recent changes. There's no turning back now that she's 12. And what are the possible outcomes? Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for other recaps.